are back here at the Hearthstone Global Games. This is day 1 of week 1 of week 10 of the stage 1 of the Global Games. I'm Raven. Jeremy, of course, is Lothar. We've had some fantastic series so far. Only 2 series in, but many, many great games. And we've also got a great series coming up next.
A lot of memorable moments so far, but now I'm really hyped because we have my countrymen playing. Poland versus Taiwan.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Let's check out the group that these guys are in. It's going to be Taiwan there, Poland, Singapore, Turkey, Vietnam, and Mexico are going to be in this group. Obviously, no records on the board yet, as we are in the first match of this group today. That's happening. It is going to be Taiwan versus Poland. And, you know, I'm going to try and rein in Lothar's bias throughout this series, but I am also looking forward to this one. I actually do try and keep an eye on a lot of the Asia-Pacific region players. Taiwan is definitely a strong one with Tom60229 being one of the leaders of that crew. And he's a very, very good player. He's been playing forever, pretty much, and competing forever as well, and doing pretty well over the course of years.
I remember Tom from like 2000. I think that was early 2014, like the first events that we had between Asia and EU and NA, and he was looking like Frodan, exactly like Frodan.
Yeah, he's mini Frodan, definitely.
Yeah, so...
But tell us about Poland, Lothar.
Okay.
Tell us about your friends.
We have ikealyou here, so the most decorated player among the team. I don't think he needs a lot of introduction because everyone who is interested in the competitive scene should know him, the guy. He's very talented, insanely competitive, and I'm very happy to see that he's actually the captain of the team. Joining him will be MKR and BlackFireIce, so 2 streamers that are very popular in Poland. And on top of that, it's Tuttek, who is a, let's say, competitive slash streamer. A small streamer, but it's a competitive player, plays in for HTC points, has actually had a lot of them already in the previous seasons. So it creates a nice dynamic between the players.
Yeah, and a small fact, I used to be on a team with BlackFireIce. He's actually
He's
a London Conspiracy, yeah.
London Conspiracy,
super cool guy.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Really a clash of regions as well as countries in terms of Europe versus Asia Pacific. So yeah, lovely shots. Is your house anywhere around here?
That's not my city. I'm from Poznan, Poland.
Can't even. Oh, that's right close to where we are.
Yes.
We're over in that corner.
And that's Warsaw.
Yeah, now this is Taiwan. Absolutely amazing looking place. And honestly, this is all that's going to happen. We see this footage of all the locations around the world. I just want to visit them all after seeing all these lovely shots.
I'm not a traveler guy, man. But
Poland or nothing.
I'm just, you know, I like to sit in my house. But the problem is I travel for all the tournaments, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you know, Taiwan, the rest of the Taiwan group, you know, aren't anywhere near as popular or as known as Tom. So I'll be looking to like, probably, I imagine Tom's going to try and lead the way in terms of, again, we've seen a lot of players sort of take control of the running overall, and we see he was the captain along with ikealyou for Poland. Check out the classes that these guys are playing. Just to remind you, the team brings all 9 classes collectively. Each player brings 2 classes, unique classes, for themselves and choose 1 that they can play versus their opponent. It's effectively a team best of 5 with every player becoming a deck. So MKR can choose Rogue or Paladin, Tom60229 can choose Mage or Priest, and they play against each other in a best of 1. And then that score is added together with the rest of the players going in to see, you know, to work out who is going to take the series first to 3 wins. And I completely lied as well. These players are very well known.
I just want to say, like Pinpingho.
Yeah,
and
so
Roger.
Pinpingho we saw in the HCT playoffs. He made a few mistakes.
That was a very harmful, you know, match for him.
He made a few mistakes, definitely. And we see Tom a bit more in other tournaments outside the regions as well. But Pinpingho is a very experienced player. He has qualified to BlizzCon for 1 year as well. Roger is a player that Frodan constantly speaks high of. You know, I mean, we all know he's good, of course, but Frodan's just like, yeah, no, Roger's sick. Like, he's gonna go far. So looking forward to seeing him play. And also, Malygos was one of the championships last year for
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Malygos. He played the Malygos deck, which was pretty great.
I hope he'll play a Malygos here as well, although in a Warrior and a Druid might not happen. Well, with Druid might actually happen, but will it?
Maybe. We are going to see MKR on the Rogue, though, as opposed to the Paladin, and Tom locking in the Mage. And I think, my memory serves me correct, Tom played a lot of Freeze Mage in the past, so I would be genuinely surprised if this wasn't Time Warp. some kind of Time Warp Mage. But MKR, I honestly don't haven't really watched his stream a lot. He
Well, I
streams in
can tell
Polish,
you.
so you know.
I can tell you he played a lot of Quest Rogue on stream.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 100% sure this will be a Quest Rogue. Well, you can't really like switch around archetypes which you played the most, right? You feel comfortable with the deck. You know that if you switch to Miracle
Also,
Rogue,
there's a big difference between the two, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you know, a really big difference.
it plays differently, way differently.
And we see MKR and Frodan there on the cameras. So I'm joking, it's Tom, of course. And they're
Oh,
gonna
really?
be, just checking. They're going to be kicking it off here. So yeah, it's a sweet poster on the left for MKR.
That's from Diablo, right?
I think it's the Barbarian, right?
I think so.
Nice.
Well, it has the Blizzard logo, so...
We can talk about it. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because Tom is an extremely competitive player with a lot of tournament results. And, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, of course, but MKR's focus is much more on content creation and streaming as opposed to playing in a million tournaments.
Well, I can tell you that I got to know MKR back in 2005 when we were still playing other card games, and that was World of Warcraft TCG at that point. I was traveling a lot to other cities to just play in tournaments locally and just Polish, you know, championships and stuff like that, and we met many times at those events. But after that game came to an end, he just switched to a more casual approach, he started streaming and so on. So he is definitely perceived as a casual player right now.
Yeah. But I have no doubts that they've been training hard for this tournament. You do not rock up to Hearthstone Global Games and try and, you know, like only put in a little bit of work. These guys will no doubt be putting everything on the line. And no surprises, we were both right by looks of things. Tom is either playing Freeze Mage or Time... Oh, it is Freeze Mage because there's no quest.
Oh, you're
it's
right.
not Time Warp. So Tom is
Time
straight up
Warp,
playing
yep.
Freeze Mage that we mentioned earlier. The current list actually play Antonidas because they need the extra damage due to lack of Ice Lances. And MKR is playing his Quest Rogue with the boar, and your best friend Patches the Pirate now.
Oh, look at that. He drew Patches. What a surprise, right? So, when it comes to Mage, we have seen today two different Quest Mages, right?
Yep.
Two different. We have seen Aggro Elemental. I'm writing this down. And we have seen now a Freeze Mage. That's four different archetypes. Well, three different archetypes and a variation of one in just three matches.
Yeah, in 3, yeah. That's kind of crazy, actually. Primordial Glyph, though, coming in. This is where a few of the changes might happen. Tom, you cannot Primordial Glyph into an Ice Lance.
Yep.
Just so you know.
Not gonna happen anymore. The Ice Lance was moved to Hall of Fame, as you might know, or not, because not, you know, not everyone knows. Cards like
Maybe he's not played
Azadrake,
for one.
Sylvanas, Ragnaros, Ice Lance, Conceal have been moved. You can't really play them in Standard anymore.
Yeah, this matchup, honestly, I'm not seeing too much Freeze Mage. I know people are playing it. I've encountered it a couple of times. But this matchup's very interesting because the time it takes for Rogue to get going is the time Freeze Mage can normally gather together a lot of its freeze effects.
Yeah.
So then it's like, yeah, you have a couple of 5/5s that charge, and maybe that's enough with the correct number of bounces. But you had to bounce the minions a lot in the first place, right, to get the quest done.
True.
So you might not have enough to, like, attack for 5, bounce it back into hand, then attack for 5 again. So Tom might be able to get the time already to just piece together the freezes and just lock MKR out of this game.
That is true. This is the synergy which can be found in games where you have combo archetype, like a real combo archetype, in a deck that is a typical control deck and just wants to gather his own pieces to the end game. So it's a iconic matchup, I would say. I mean, maybe to become an iconic matchup, because as you just explained very well, this is exactly what will happen. If he will just chain the freezes because there's no pressure in the beginning of the game, the Freeze Mage can do whatever he wants. In this case, just draw cards. Draw cards, assemble the pieces, and play Alex Strazza, finish up the game.
Yeah, and you know, we can see MKR is currently 0 out of 4 on the Crystal Core, which is the Rogue quest, of course, and mainly because he's just took that turn to Fan of Knives, draw more cards, and I think he wants to try and burst out the quest in 1 turn, or maybe 2 turns maximum, and then get it out in 1 go, as opposed to try and do it like, you know, 1 turn here, 1 turn there, and build it up over the course of more than 2. So we'll see how Tom decides to respond to this. He draw on the Secret. This card's really nice. Just 2/3/2 mana, draw a Secret. I like it.
It's the way a mad scientist should have been.
Yeah, I believe Subtle and Admirable have coined Rational Scientist as it's the for the card name, because it's just how scientists should have been made, as you quite rightly said. Already though, Tom, Frost Nova, Ice Barrier is nice. Blizzard, fantastic. Primordial Glyph, probably it looks like he wants to either hold on for Antonidas or just wait till late turns where he's got a little bit more room.
Well,
in terms of his mana.
he can use the glyph before Antonidas,
Yeah,
so and then basically pick a spell that has 0 mana or 1 and play it on turn 7 or 8 with Antonidas, right?
Reduce it by 2, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, after
to
the
make
reduction.
it 0
yeah.
1. Yeah. Sorry, I'm with you.
So for MKR though, nothing is going really well. He can play 3 Stunter Spore, but that's 1 short.
Yep.
So Patches probably will trade with the Loot Hoarder, and well, wait, never mind. He has the Dagger. Other option is Shadow Stepping the Firefly, but I don't like it at all. He needs to get basically 1 more bounce effect in with the Ferryman, with the Panda, with another Shadow Step.
And you can actually get any of the bounce effects and they'll work because he has enough mana now to do it all because 2 of the bounces is 1 of the bounces is Shadow Step.
That is correct.
Okay, so Toma is piecing together a lot of damage here and a good amount of draw and freeze as well, just getting a bit of everything. And MKI is just being very, very slow. I feel like this feels really strange as well because he could have just Stone to Spore Shadow Step. You know, it's 1 to face, which is, you know, I get isn't a lot, but it really looks like MKR wants that 1 turn to just pull it off in 1 go and then calling it a day. Cast it. He does have prep available to cast Crystal Core as well, so he can actually prep Crystal Core out, which is even better.
To be honest, I feel like not playing this Stunter Spore is actually better because it doesn't alarm your opponent of what might happen next turn.
Trying to lull Tom into a false sense of security, thinking, oh, I don't have anything to bounce, and then poof, 1 turn, got him.
Exactly, so not really surprised by that, but now for Tom, the Glyph is being played, another Frost Nova, good choice. Forbidden Flame, not really a best choice against a deck that plays either small minions or they're just a 5/5, which is
I like a 1 mana Frost Nova load though.
Yeah, it's almost like pre-nerf, but better.
It's like when it was better, but even better than that.
Yeah, and there's the bounce
master.
effect.
Yeah.
So, we go for it, right? It's 2 mana for the boss, then you Shadow Step, then it's the 3rd, then you use
you want to do
Panda.
it next turn, so you can prep it out at the same time. Because the problem is you leave minions on the board that are low attack, and low health. And okay, a lot of people are like, road quest, simple, easy, blah blah. And you know it's fairly straightforward. But turns like this, you have to work out exactly what you want to leave on the board, low health, pre-quest. Because if you leave too much, then the board gets wiped, and yeah, you've got the quest live, but no minions, so who cares? So this is why we see just the 1 bounce now, the expensive bounce. Now we can just play Boar, Shadow Step, Boar, prep into the Crystal Core.
Good explanation.
Thanks.
And that will allow MKR to deal 10 damage next turn. Well, actually, he is at quest. How much? He played 1, right, on the quest. So he needs, so no matter, he will be able to deal 5 basically with 1 boar.
So this choice is
Tricky.
a little bit tricky. I can explosion this turn and just ping. Oh, what? Wait.
I like this
Interesting.
because it doesn't allow his opponent to just play minions and play the quest.
Yeah, leave them on the board. Yeah. Alright, this is tricky. This Doomsday is kind of awkward here.
Well, is he able to kill it? Let's count. Boar. You deal 2 damage
Yeah, he can do it.
to Doomsayer. Then you play Shadow Step. You have the quest. You play the quest with the prep. You play Boar. You kill Doomsayer. And you have 2 5/5s on board already. Which are, of course, silenced, but it's still fine.
Yep. I think there are a couple of other ways you can do it as well.
But you don't want to play Sofsy Deckhand right now.
No, but you know you could if you felt the need to, but because you can get it off with the quest, then it seems reasonable. Just gonna see if MKR can actually piece together this, because you know one thing as well is without you said he's played a lot of this deck, so I have no doubt he'll spot it. But you know you really do need to understand exactly the range and limit of your bounces, especially when the Shadow Steps and it makes the minion 0. It sounds like it should be straightforward where your minions are free, but sometimes you need to make sure it adds up perfectly to be able to get that quest off as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then prep quest. Gonna be fast enough?
Well, I hope so. Because the animation of the quest is actually taking a lot of time. Did he miss it?
No. Oh.
I
Oh,
think
I
he
think he
missed
missed
it. I think that was
he
a
missed it.
blunder.
Let's see. Oh. Okay, there's Crystal Core. Did he attack?
Let's see.
Oh.
Ah, he killed it. Okay, he got
Okay.
it. He got it all.
Nice.
Woo.
Look,
Well, his reaction was really like kind of...
I think he realized how close he was there because that was tight. I saw it on the we have like the actual player spectators here, so I could see the mouse movements. I was like, I watched him and I still don't know if he got it in time. So he was kind of relieved to hit that. But now here comes the Chain Freezes Blizzard, the expensive one, right? Get it out of the way. Another Blizzard. Frost Nova. He can actually Blizzard Arcane Explosion next turn to clear this board if he really wants. Like, MKR, yeah, you've got the quest done, friend, but there's still a long way to go for him in this matchup.
And he can't really use the charge minions right now because he needs the bonus effects to
Yeah, there's no point, right? Yeah, there's
fully
no
get
point.
the effect of that.
10 damage, they're dead.
Yeah.
Sick.
So,
Tom
it
is
does...
looking relaxed. Look at this guy.
I mean, he has 2 turns of just, you know, freezing the board. And if he is able to play the Frost Nova on turn 10 with Antonidas, he has this in the bag.
Yep. I believe.
You don't need to use the Arcane Explosion this turn, right?
I like it. I like it.
Well, is there a way of healing the minions? Well, it can be a Vanish.
Yeah, that would be scary.
That would be
Vanish
actually
would-
awful.
And there's still 1 Shadow Step, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's like, oh, it's 1 minion. Well, you know what? 1 minion doing 5 damage to your face.
Or
So-
one
sometimes you
minion,
lose.
it's a Firefly, and it just
Yeah,
pops
spirals out. of
2
control.
minions, right?
Do you see Ferryman get drawn now? So he can bounce back that Firefly, but it'll cost him another one to do. He can just play both charge minions here and clear off the Doomsayer, though. But
Yeah.
But he opens himself up to just freeze effects then, while doing no damage to face.
Well, he can play both charge minions, kill the Doomsayer, play Ferryman, bounce back Deckhand or Patches, and attack for 1.
You bounce back Patches, right?
Hmm?
You bounce back Patches. Because you need the dagger for deckhand to charge.
Yes, definitely.
He's going to clear it off. He's going to commit to the board now.
Oh, he commits. Oh, okay.
He's just doing it. Okay, this is cycling the Firefly, as you mentioned, to get more value from the 1/1s. From the 1-mana creatures.
I don't know which one is better actually now. Is
This
it better to have charge minion or is it better to have non-charge
Well, we
minions
can
in
see
that
this
hand?
is getting Novid. This is hitting the tipping point now where one player will just win very suddenly. Either Tom can Nova and stall this board, or Tom dies very quickly. So I believe we're going to probably start off with the Arcane Intellect here. Even Arcane Intellect like Acolyte, Frost Nova, worst case.
There's
How
an
many
extra
freezes
Azar.
has he got left? He needs to find an Ice Block. He needs that one turn for free.
If
to
he will
actually
get
win
that
the
ice
game.
block, he wins the game.
Yeah.
Because he has now 15 damage in hand. But he needs to get the ice block. So this is 30 damage on board from the rogue. And even when you use Ice Barrier, it's 29. So not able to...
Yeah, it doesn't
live
matter,
through.
right?
Right.
Not with this board. Yeah, I like this play. It means he can actually ping his Acolyte next turn as well. He has, what, 1 Nova left?
Yes, because the other one was from the
Discovered,
glyph.
right? Yeah.
Eviscerate not really helpful right now, so I guess you just attack for 1.
It's so crazy. Imagine if imagine if Tom had Ice Block earlier and he equipped it, right?
Yeah.
He just wins.
Yeah,
Alex Raza, Fireball, Frost.
if that Ecologist would actually bring up Ice Block, it would have been done.
Yeah, it just wins. It's crazy.
I like the Eviscerate on the Cloud of Pain because that doesn't allow Tom to ping it,
Yeah.
so it counters the additional
It's not like
draw.
you've not got enough damage, right?
Yeah.
Ew.
Pyroblast, interesting. And there's Ice Block. But
Is it enough?
it's not enough because he doesn't have a...
5. He can.
Well, he can... Wait, he can Arcanologist and play Ice Block and then Fireball Phase. His opponent's at 19, and that's not enough. He would have to get another Ice Block the next turn. Because he's not
Yeah.
able to play Alexstrasza next turn because the
He dies.
Ice Block is
Yeah.
just melted right now.
Those fire elementals melting the ice blocks.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he has to block, right? He has to Arcanologist into ice block. Does get it?
Oh, look at that. He drew an Ice Block. Oh my
Sick.
god. It's like all those guys that have the quest on turn 1, always, man.
They got ice barrier. So does he Frostbolt face then?
Well, does it make a difference if he kills one minion?
Oh, he Frostbolts a minion, sorry, not face.
Yeah, because that's 20...
That's not enough. Yeah, this is correct.
yes,
We
this
should
is...
just bow down to Tom's knowledge with this deck. This is completely correct. You make the ice block give you a chance, or the ice barrier, sorry, to give you a chance to not die. Then you just Alex Straza and kill him.
Yeah. If the block doesn't get popped right now,
Ooh.
he actually will most likely win the game.
He just got Pyrus.
It's always a 5-5.
No, it's a 10 mana 5/5. What's going on? Anti-synergy with the rogue quest.
Well, now it turns out that the Eviscerate was really needed.
Yep.
But who knew? I think it was still a correct decision
I think it was
to
reasonable, yeah.
kill the Acolyte of Pain, but in this case, he will actually lose because of that. Not having a charge minion in hand.
Well, is he definitely lost?
Well, the Ice Block will not get popped, right? Next in Alexstrasza.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the extra damage, right?
Oh, you're right. He doesn't
next
have
turn the Alexstrazas,
Oh,
then the
right,
Ice Block
right,
gets
right,
proc,
right.
then 2 Fireballs isn't enough because he had to use the Frostball. So, you know, but the odds are ever increasing that the second Ice Block's drawn, and then suddenly that kind of helps with life.
That
You
is
just Fireball, Ice Block,
It's a legendary. Thanos. Well, that's 14 damage
No,
with
no.
fireballs.
Oh, yeah.
So
Can't
one
do it
off.
still. One off over the course of 2 turns with Thanos, Fireball for 14. Puts him to 15. Sorry, puts him to 11. What am I talking
Oh, he needs to go for it. There's another way. So how many cards does he have left? 6. And in those 6 cards, he has, I think,
Frostbolt.
a second Frostbolt
Yeah.
and an Ice Block.
2 outs.
2 out of 6. And for MKR, is there anything that can help him with this? There's no heal in this deck. There are no taunts, which is not important anyway. Novice Engineer. Well, he will just sacrifice 2 minions, trade with the Alexstrasza.
Oh, and
Suddenly, eat
wait,
their
wait, wait.
secret.
He can't proc him at 1, right? So Frost Nova as well. He has the second Frost Nova, I think. So he can't proc him at 1 because the minions are all 5s.
you're right. It's at 2.
Yeah.
So it makes
a
a
dagger
difference.
won't actually kill him straight up.
That's the downside of having 5 attack minions only.
Can't do that sweet proc 1. Okay, here we go. This draw is going to decide the game to a certain extent. If Tom whiffs, then Tom is dead.
It's a Frost Nova.
Woo! So Frost Nova Fireball.
Still, there's a chance for MKR because he can draw a second Eviscerate or
Yep.
a charge minion. So, fortunately for him, he didn't play a 7th minion. So he has a space to play a charge minion. It can be a second. It can be
Imagine if Tom had Dirty Rat. Oh my god, Dirty Rat Frost Nova.
Yeah.
Is there still a second of his, right?
I think it is.
Whoa!
Alright. Am I missing something?
He's just digging for Ice Block, but he could have set up 2-turn lethal, which I think was worth the risk.
Wait.
I think it was worth
Frost
the
Nova
risk.
Fireball, right? And you have Pyroblast next turn.
Yeah. Because now he's in the same spot. He fireballs Ice
Did I
Blocks,
miss something?
right? Well, you know that he's going to fireball Ice
Yeah.
Block if he draws it, but if he doesn't draw it now, he's just dead.
Well, there's a Frostbolt.
Oh.
That's enough. That was
Okay,
3
so
cards left.
he had 2.
2 out of
3.
3. But still, there was a chance that he would just not get it, right?
Yeah, there was a chance, but that chance didn't matter. Tom is very happy. He takes the game over MKR. Very close one. Very tricky as well. But Tom showing that, yes, there is Time Warp Mage. Yes, there is aggro. There is tempo. You know what? Also freeze, friends. He's very, very happy as he takes that win for Taiwan over Poland so far. So,
Well, feels bad, man.
first feeling great over here.
First game goes to Taiwan. Although, as I said, it was a very close one. I feel like, actually, it's an interesting matchup. Because there's a lot of time for the Freeze Mage to develop anything that he wants to develop in the first phases of the game. But at the same time, the Rogue is super explosive.
Yeah.
And the downside of the explosiveness is the fact that the damage is only being dealt in 5 and 1s.
Yeah,
If you don't use Eviscerate.
Yeah, it's really strange as well because you kind of have to get the quest off either super quick or just hope they don't draw into enough freezes. But because one of the things that wouldn't work either is those games where the mage draws all the turn early and can try and win like that. That probably wouldn't work versus Rogue. So we do see that Tom takes the first victory. So Taiwan are 1-0 up against Poland. Coming up next, it's going to be ikealyou on the Warrior versus MalygosTW on the Warrior as well. Let's get comfortable
Because
if this is control mirrors.
if this is a Quest versus Quest Warrior, it will take a while. It's also an interesting matchup because players might mulligan for just cheap taunt minions as soon as possible to get the quest as early as possible.
Yeah, normally whoever gets the quest first in that mirror is actually very, very favored because the hero power just wins the game. It's not like old Control Warrior where it's not going to take as long as those matchups, those mirrors, because it's tank up, pass, tank up, pass, tank up, pass. It's actually, you actually rush the taunts, get the Ragnaros hero power, and start laying waste to your opponent. So definitely not going to be a super long one if that's the case. Or I'm going to go for it. ikealyou's just playing Pirate Warrior.
He might be playing Pirate Warrior because it's still a powerful, powerful deck. And if your opponents are playing Taunt Warrior, which is still might not be enough to actually stop the Pirate Warrior, they lose one card if they keep the quest in their opening hand.
Yeah. And you probably don't versus Pirate if you know, but you don't know, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you lose one card against a Pirate Warrior, and you can't really, reliably hit Fairy Warriors because of that, or even a early game taunt, right? It's a problem. You might be missing out on an Execute or a Shield Slam, or cards that would just give you survival for the one crucial turn, and Pirate Warrior just takes advantage of that.
Yep.
One turn of attacks might be actually 126 damage, so might be enough to kill that warrior.
Yeah, and even just the way so Pirate Warrior is pretty much solved, I would say, more or less at this point. Whereas the Taunt Warrior, there's many different iterations still knocking around. It's not like we've decided on one deck and we're committing to it at all. We want to see other Taunt Warriors, so to speak. And, there's a lot of builds going around, and even just other than the quest, being the common factor, of course, and a lot of taunts, still a lot of differences going around. So always excited to see the new lists that are coming out from these guys. So just to remind you, if you're just tuning in, the overall format for Hearthstone Global Games, we're in week 1 of stage 1. There are 8 groups of 6 teams each, a total of 48 teams / countries competing over a 10-week round robin. They will play every other team in their group.
And then we go to stage 2, which is literally the copy of stage 1, but with less amount of teams. We will have 6 groups of 4 teams, and they play 3 weeks of round robin, so basically the same.
Yep, and then finally moving on to stage 3, where the top 16 teams will battle out in a single elimination bracket, and the top 4 will move on to a live LAN finals.
And this will get hype.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It means, like, regardless of what country you're playing from, you will be flown to wherever the location is and be playing in a LAN tournament. Cannot wait. There's our good friend ikealyou on the left, representing Poland, Malygos from Taiwan on the right. Both players looking pretty focused. Looks like they're playing from home, nice and comfortable.
Yeah, that's true. I actually didn't, or wasn't aware of the fact that baseball is, popular in Taiwan. Because I have seen a poster of a baseball player behind Malygos.
Oh. It doesn't have to be popular in the country to like it.
Yeah.
Some people like American football that aren't from America. Strange people.
But, in Japan, basketball is very popular, an example.
Sure.
So, which I find odd. But who am I to judge?
No one. That's who, Lothar. No one. Can't judge anyone. But yeah, looking forward to seeing these players go. I know ikealyou was not happy. Well, on one hand, happy with his HCT performance in terms of qualifying last year. Not happy with the outcome. I know he wanted to, he sort of puts a lot on himself to actually perform well. He's very disappointed in himself when he doesn't. So this is another tournament in which he can prove himself, more to himself anyway. I mean, everyone else knows he's good, right? It's like I think no one gets more upset about it than he does in terms of his either performance or results in general.
I find that's a quality that almost every pro player has. Yep. They're putting a lot of strain on themselves to just prove in front their own ego that I'm a good player. I can prove that I can win a tournament.
Here we go. ikealyou for Poland versus Malygos for Taiwan. Fire plumes. Let's do this. Quests
golden.
all around.
Both golden. Oh man, those people have a lot of dust. So in this case, I would say that you mulligan everything that is not a taunt minion, but I would say Direhorn Hatchling is kind of expensive, so you might go for the best one would be your favorite actually, the Defender.
Stonehill, yeah. Saul brought me onto this card. I'd not played any real control decks since the expansion came out. Started playing Paladin. Stonehill Defender's a great card. But yeah, I agree. It also depends on the build, though, right?
Mhm,
Because,
mhm.
again, these builds could be very different from each other. Depends what taunts you're even running early game and what kind of cards, what removal you're running as well. It wouldn't surprise me to even see Black Knights pop up in decks.
Yeah, I love the
soon.
Black Knights currently. But, okay, we see Sleep with the Fishes for ikealyou. That gives us some informations. Might be just one with 2 brawls, might be 2 without brawls. That can happen. But both, I mean, neither of them have any taunt minions for turn 2, 3, 4, Deathwing. Pretty sweet.
Told you the builds could be different.
Yeah. I actually play myself with the Deathwing.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
But, you know, I suppose when you've got Ragnar's hero power, you can afford to throw everything else and just drop a 12-12.
Yep.
Yeah, the build's looking pretty cool so far. Malygos seeming happy, no doubt on comms with his teammates. Or just a happy guy in general. It's completely possible that some people... We can talk about being happy now that Sol's not here with
Yeah.
us. You know, now I'm casting with you, Lothar. So.
Exactly. Well, he's lying 6, and let's not make fun of him.
This is the perfect time. But no, I'll get better, Sol. Yep, so ikealyou now has, yeah, not too many options, but I imagine players like ikealyou and a lot of the Europe scene and probably a lot of the American scene as well are actually heavily influenced by, for example, Sho, who was ranked 1 with, you know, Quest Warrior on ladder, not, maybe even today, I'm not sure, but a couple of days ago was rank 1 legend with it. So, you know, this build already looks very similar to Sho's from ikealyou here, whereas Malygos dropping a Deathwing on us potentially. Looks a little bit of his own brew.
It's interesting to me that ikealyou didn't play the Bloodhoof Brave, because there's a huge chance we'll actually draw a minion that will curve out. And as we talked before, it seems like curving out in this matchup is just better.
It's almost like it's weird to say, but it's like a race, right?
Yeah.
But with these high drops now, you can actually coin into a Primordial Drake later on, you know, which getting that out 1 turn earlier is actually kind of huge as well.
That's true, but unfortunately for him, he did draw 2 Primordial Drakes. So if he's not playing Deathwing in his own version, the Curator will only draw 1 card. Because I'm assuming he's playing Curator in his deck as well.
Yeah.
And there will be no more dragons in his deck, apart from maybe Deathwing.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's kind of unfortunate. For Malygos, though, he already has 1 Drake and the Deathwing in hand. So if he's running only 1 Drake, then the Curator will not draw anything.
Yeah. Look at this. Slam, weapon hit, no doubt Whirlwind to finish it off.
Well, you have
Which one
2
do I wanna
Whirlwinds.
use?
You need to use the one on the left, because you don't want to say that you already planned this, right? You either have a Ghoul or a Whirlwind. So you don't use the top deck card, because then you give your opponent actually the read that sorry, one of the 5 cards here in this hand is actually a Ghoul or a Whirlwind effect.
Yeah, it's pretty much lets it off, unless you think your opponent's like, well, gotta go for it, which probably wouldn't happen, to be completely
No way.
honest. Yeah,
No way he
probably
could
not.
have just, you know, banked on a top deck, since, well, your opponent just got a 5/1 minion.
And this is really funny how the Control Warrior matchup has changed because of the expansion, is that a lot of the time you want to hold off. You don't want to give value to your opponent's cards. Now it's like, no, let me get my Taunt minions down. Because the quicker I do, the quicker I can just win. It's currently looking at 2 for ikealyou so far.
2-0.
Yep.
And the Stonehill Defender is being drawn. Amazing draw right now. And still ikealyou should know that there's Whirlwind or a second Ghoul in the hand from Malygos. So, pretty crucial information when you ask me. Because he knows those 3 minions that he had in the hand, I mean the other 3 cards in his hand, are super expensive. Or reactive.
Yeah.
So either it's a second execute, or a second
or like
weapon.
a second slam or something.
Yeah, or it's just expensive minions. Ooh, this Sogod is pretty sweet.
It is, but do you just want the Armor Smith for next turn?
Well, the next turn can also be Primordial Drake, right? And then you play Drake, Sogod. And that's 3 taunt minions. You get to 5, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
Or to 6, because you...
Oh, no, 6 because the Stonehill's down, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Soggoth is pretty powerful.
But if you take Silverback, are you able to curve out faster? If you get...
Well, you can
a
play
4
Silverback
drop.
this turn.
Yes,
and then coin Primordial and Primordial. So you'll still be on the same number, but a turn earlier.
Yes. So you...
He's going to go for the Soggoth now. The big
I
boy.
like it, I like it.
And Soggoth's just better, right? Like, it's just...
Yeah.
Soggoth's actually just a good card. Curator's going to come down.
Right, let's see what other draws does. The Diehard Hatchling, and that's about it. One Drake, one Primordial Drake in the
One
deck.
Deathwing.
One Death.
So you know where the spot has been loosened up there?
So now, ikealyou got another information. He knows one card is Whirlwind or a Ghoul, sorry, and the other two cards in that hand will be dragons.
Yep.
Because
But
every single
what
warrior
he won't
plays two
know
dragons.
is one of those bad boys is Deathwing.
Yeah.
That's the big trick here. He'll presume it's two Drakes.
Yes.
He'll presume it's two Drakes.
Exactly. But that gives still a lot of information.
Oh, of course. So the ikealyou's hand does have more taunts now available. The Honorary Diehard as an option. We saw it a bit earlier today. 6 mana, 5/5 with a taunt and adapt.
Well, he can go for the Sleep with the Fishes as well, right? Slam, Sleep with the Fishes, trade. Nah.
I like this because this lines up the Drakes better.
Yeah, the Drakes are
Okay.
better with
Yeah,
the Sleep
yeah,
with the Fishes, yeah, definitely.
+3?
Winter is not bad as well. +1 and +1 is also not bad.
Wind Fury, it just dies, right? To the board.
Yeah, Wind Fury is horrible, but Volcanic Might would be great if... No, it still dies. Never mind.
Still can be cleared with the Whirlwind here from Malygos if he really wants to use it. Can even use the Acolyte as well to get value from the Whirlwind. Or he can actually just go for a Whirlwind trade into the Diehard Hatchling, and then that'll shuffle a 6/9 taunt into the deck once it dies.
Few options. The Drake seems like an option as well. Because it can kill the Defender, it can kill the Triceratops, and leave on the Armorsmith with 1/2. So that's not bad as well. And you actually use your most expensive taunt minion in the deck on turn 8, which is ideal, unless it's turn 10 with Sleep with the Fishes or Execute.
Yeah.
And he used one Execute
double trade
already. Alright, interesting approach.
Yeah, he's gonna Drake, right? Drake Hero. Looks like it. Got a big guy down again. This card is one of the sleeper cards, I feel. And didn't really stand out too much to, I think, most people.
Yeah, definitely not to me. It's
yeah,
just like,
it's like
it's a
Heat Banner 4.
very expensive with...
It's like, no, two damage AoE, Dragon, and it's a taunt. Okay, count me in.
It turns out it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna see the Primordial Drake from the other side. And that will kill the Greater. Set up a decent turn 9 as well, because if you just go with the second Primordial Drake, the other Primordial Drake from your opponent will actually die after trading.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good setup. But you can also hold onto it and just play Primordial Drake with the Sleep with the Fishes on turn 10, or even just coin it out next turn if your opponent goes wide on the board suddenly.
Yeah, I feel like ikealyou definitely has the option advantage here. You know, he has
the upper hand.
Yeah, his hand is very flexible, whereas Malygos does have some good cards, some good minions and stuff. But I think Malygos is going to be reliant on this Deathwing making a huge impact here, and maybe letting ikealyou build the board up a little bit more, slamming Deathwing once all his taunts are gone, and then just going for it.
I feel so as well. But now the question is, what do you play even this turn? Do you want to go into Acolyte of Pain? I feel like so. You're missing the Execute, so you can't really deal with the Primordial Drake easily. And he only has 2 taunts in his quest. That's kind of horrible.
Okay, doing right being pulled. He's going to spread out the amount of taunts. Maybe he can catch up 3 out of 7 now. And ikealyou could just drop Sagoth if he really wants to. But then his Primordial Drake doesn't actually do anything realistic this turn, apart from chip away at some health.
I like the Primordial Drake this turn, the second one. Because then
off the Acolyte as well.
Kills off the Acolyte, kills off the Hatchling with the attack from your own Drake. And still leaves the Drake at 4/4.
Yeah, he can weapon coin it out as well.
Yeah, that's even better.
Board, yeah.
I completely forgot about the coin. That is actually the best possible turn.
Yep, ikealyou in a very, very strong position. His first Primordial Drake still survives the 4/2, which is going to help. And now ikealyou is 1 taunt away from being able to equip Sulfuris and start to really dominate the game. Stonehill Defender, not a bad draw at all for Malygos, especially because he can couple it along with the Ali Armorsmith and the Dirty Rat if he really wants.
I would actually play the Dirty Rat.
Dirty Rat Brawl.
You know that your opponent's at 6 out of 7. And if it turns out He only has one taunt minion in his hand. You will deny the quest for maybe 110.
Yeah. If you got that kind of heads up.
Oh, those are not really great options.
You're really looking for the new taunts for warrior, you know, the dinosaurs. Like the ornery hatchling and stuff. Daihon hatchling, sorry.
Public defender? I mean,
just because you can play with Armorsmith this turn, I guess.
Soaks a lot of damage is an easy way of getting another tick on your quest, which is now 3. So we get to 4, you get to 5.
Yep, it's just gonna stack them. One off.
Actually to 6.
Yeah, one
That's
off
even
now.
better.
And
So
you can Dirty Rat Brawl next turn.
Dirty Rat Brawl
And equip the
weapon. That's not bad.
So these are the swing turns we saw earlier today as well with Control Warrior, where you build up. Once you get that big turn, you can actually clear the board out, and then with the Brawl combined with Dirty Rat, for example, or even the 2/6 with the Summons the Raptors, you can actually do things like that, and then you know the hero power starts really taking control of the game.
The cornered sentry. I was hoping the card will see play, but not for now.
Not for now. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
You can play it against me anytime you want, Lothar, as long as I get to play Hunter.
Well, the card is not bad with MC Tech, right? Your opponent has 1 minion. Played, you have 25%
you
chance.
steal the 1/1 back, and you're like, God damn it. Okay, so
Imagine if you could choose with MC Tech.
well, that card would have to be like 6-7 mana or something.
That would have been way too
Maybe
good.
a legendary.
Way too good.
Here comes Sargoth to prot the quest.
And
Malygos.
Malygos knows that, oh, this is perfect. And now I can play Dirty Rat proc, brawl this, because it's worth it.
Quest is live though for ikealyou, so next turn he can equip Sulfur's. Ooh, Daihon Matriarch. Sick.
Here we
I ain't
go.
talking.
First, every time this happens when the quest is broke, like that time I'm like, wait, why didn't get the minion out?
Okay, here comes the Brawl. This could have a huge impact on the game. Let's have a look what wins. And it is the... Oh my god, the Dirty Rat. Just to rub it in even more.
Well, could have been worse.
For who?
For Malygos.
Well, sure. Could have been much worse for ikealyou.
Want to attack? I don't think you want to attack, yeah. It's still a tool to deal with smaller minions, just to get better targets for for the.
It's proc executes as well.
What's the actual name of the hero power now?
Die Insect.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes.
That's cool.
Actually die. I'm pretty
I
sure.
actually never checked it.
Pretty sure it's Die Insect. We'll see. But yeah, Malygos, although downing cards, actually has a huge advantage now because he's off first and he has a minion on board. So Furious is going to get equipped, and yeah, here we go. ikealyou going to try and hit in. Oh, he's actually going to sleep with the fishes and then get the hero power off.
Why not slam? You want to keep it for execute?
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
All right. Yeah, to execute.
You don't get much
and,
value from sleep with the fishes.
So this is kind of important. The Daihon Matriarch has actually 9 HP, so it doesn't die to single hero power, and that means the slam will come in handy.
Die Insect.
Oh, sweet.
Yep, that's awesome. Yep, so yeah, the Matriarch's actually looking pretty good. It's probably going to eat the slam and the execute, I guess, because ikealyou now wants to... It's so funny that this game is such like a slow, like, taunt, and then they both get rag hero power and they're like, quick! Go face! Like, and just try and rush each other down. It's so funny to me.
Well, so far it seems like Malygos is ahead, but it might quickly change if...
After seeing the execute as well there, I imagine this is going to be a Deathwing turn, depending on what he's drawn, of course. Okay, I actually prefer Ali Armorsmith now.
Do you?
Because you can potentially gain armor. If Ragnus
And
is, you gain 2 armor.
Yeah, it's better. And you can still hero power this turn, so definitely better. Ooh. You played 1 brawl so far.
Every time you can present a 50-50 to your opponent and you're taking 100% to face, you're feeling pretty good about life.
Yeah. I mean, it's 4 Hunter hero powers for 2 mana.
I feel like this should have been a Hunter quest. Yeah, 2 damage, 2 mana, 8 damage to face. Get him. Well,
For some reason, when I was reading the quest first, I was like, you have that hero power while you have Sulfuras equipped.
Oh, okay.
But it
Nope.
turns out
it's
not
better
the
than that.
case.
Yep. Yeah, then like weapon removal will be the sickest in the game like it's ever been. It's been strong sometimes.
Well, and you couldn't swing with it second time, right?
Yep.
Well, it should have been better weapon then, than just a 4-2 in this case.
Immune durability.
Wouldn't be that bad, actually. That would be actually pretty cool.
Couldn't be both. Couldn't be the rag hero power and your weapon never runs out. That would be insane. True smoke. Okay, so ikealyou's going to go for the execute now, which means, you know, the playing field is open for a Deathwing to help finish this game. Malygos already hovering over it. Bloodtooth Brave. Dude, that shield, although large, is not going to be large enough to stop Deathwing.
And there's no way he can die next turn, right?
The only thing is, Deathwing does stop him using the hero power, but that doesn't matter too much, I don't think.
Well, it's 10 damage, 12 damage maximum by ikealyou next turn, and there's no way of dealing 4 just like that, right?
Do you actually War Axe execute?
Nah, I don't think so, because if you War Axe execute, your opponent might actually have a way of killing you, because he can just play, he can attack next turn with the weapon, top deck a second free War Axe, and actually kill you.
That's over 2 turns, though.
Yes.
You kill him in 2 turns.
Well, he can play minions, right?
I think I like this. Because Deathwing doesn't set... You can't hero power in Deathwing, that's the issue, right? So if you Deathwing and then he plays a taunt, when Deathwing goes into taunt, then your hero power still hasn't killed him, you know what I mean? Like, you can actually trip over yourself a little bit because of Deathwing being 10 mana. I don't mind this take 8 to the face, and then any 1 minion that's played next turn, you're taking a 50-50 on lethal.
That is true.
Like, and worst case, you can then drop Deathwing and be like, get him.
You're right. Curator, but it will draw only 1 card, even if. And you need to go for it. Hero power, most likely. And that's about it. I think.
What now?
And he, well,
I mean,
maybe
he has to play, right? He needs to play a minion.
Yes.
Or he dies. You got the Diehorn Hatchling. Not going to be enough to play this turn. Hero power does miss and hit face. Well, not miss. It hits face as opposed to dirty, right? Not too much of a concern as the damage doesn't mean the Curate is tradable anyway.
So he can't attack really with the weapon.
Oh, no, you just pass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The opponent is 1 off lethal. And that's 0. Wow. Well, that's awkward.
He's chuckling to himself.
That's awkward.
So, this is tough. Deathwing does not die to rag hero power. So Deathwing almost guarantees lethal in one way or another, because it will kill any minion that is played, right?
Yeah.
Any minion it'll kill.
Unless your opponent will play 2.
Unless he runs the adapt against Divine Shield.
Oh, it's GG.
Oh, never mind.
50-50 for the
Malygos,
rag.
Ragnaros hero power to face. I've just named 2 legendary cards that weren't in that game for some reason, but that's what happens in this meta, guys. Malygos, Ragnaros, game over, Rose, I guess. And that's going to be another win for Taiwan. Poland are getting wrecked.
Well, thank you. I'm really sad now. But what was it really even weirder in that game is the fact that ikealyou knew this is a dragon in his hand. So he should have known it's either, well, Primordial Drake or Deathwing. But if it would have been Primordial Drake, he would have played it and hero powered the same turn, so he knew it's Deathwing.
Yeah, there was no way ikealyou could play around it, right?
I don't think so.
No, you have to play minions.
Well,
yeah.
he played the second execute, kind of like, you know, on that minion that maybe there's another way of dealing with
I
it.
think it was one of those issues where if you didn't execute that, then he just doesn't play the Deathwing anyway, and then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
But we can see, Malygos and Tom taking victories over MKR and ikealyou. Now next up's going to be Pinpingho on the Shaman versus BlackFireIce on the Shaman as well.
Shaman
the mirror of the day and of global games all around. And we've seen a few, you know, we've seen both, or we've seen Elemental Shaman and Aggro Shaman as well. You know, Aggro Shaman from What's my word now?
Cebu.
Yes, from Cebu, sorry, from Greece. But, you know, we've seen a couple of other elemental lists, slightly different as well. So we can be interested to see what these two guys bring, especially, again, just because the regions, well, the countries are so far away in terms of region-based, right? Poland versus Taiwan, very different play styles, very different deck choices we have. We can see them getting ready. Good old BlackFireIce in his hat. I swear I've never seen him without a hat on.
I think I have never seen him without a hat as well. Even when we're like on a party or something.
Badges as well.
Still has the hat.
Yep. Pinpingho, you may recognize from previous broadcasts, such as Hearthstone Championship Tour, where he played. And there was the moment where he tapped on 10, guys. No, we're not going to mess around here.
Did he do that twice?
It might have been twice, but we'll see. With the help of his team here for Taiwan, iron out some of those mistakes. We saw HCT as a very high pressure scenario. This is maybe a little bit less pressure in one extent because you play round robin, right? You don't lose a match and you're out in this situation. So maybe gonna relax a little bit more with some teammates, chill out, and have a stronger game in general from him. He is a very experienced player, though.
That is true, but at the same time, it's the weight of your entire country on your shoulders. But at the same time, Shaman actually maxes out at the hero power, so you can do it at some point.
Yes, you can only do it 4 times if all the totems are still on, then you're done. You literally will not let you play hero power. But yeah, these guys, if Pinpingho wins this, well, Taiwan have just 3-0'd Poland. Like,
thank you very much Raven, for reminding me for that.
I'm doing this for the viewers, okay?
All right. So it's elemental versus Wait, is it? Because BlackFireIce actually has Jade Lightning and Master. Well, okay, those are all of those cards can be played in both versions.
Yeah, it's golden versus non-golden. That's what I'm telling you.
Oh.
But this Fire Plume Phoenix, right? We have seen multiple times that, or we discussed earlier, the 4-drop, the Tolve Stone Shaper, is awkward, right?
And this is the reason why it's being played.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is the solo reason why that card... the card's not horrendous, it's just not amazing, but it's an elemental, which means you have a 4-drop to curve into 5 if you need to. So already seeing the evolution of the decks as we move on throughout the meta here. But BlackFireIce could well be playing aggro or elemental. Oh, I think that was a Tar Creeper. Did we see a Ninja? Yeah, okay.
It's a Tar Creeper.
Yeah, so I imagine with this, just the Tar Creeper probably shows it's some kind of elemental list with an anti-aggro opening like the Blood Cell, because as we discussed earlier, you don't really have many very, very early options in terms of minions.
Yeah. By the way, Milestone Portal is just gorgeous. The golden one, of course.
Oh, yeah. You put some extra spice into that one.
Still, I think my favorite card when it comes to golden animations is Firelance.
Yeah, Firelance looks pretty sick.
It's amazing, actually. Kudos to whoever did that. It was actually amazing. All right, let's go back into the game.
You know what my favorite golden animation is?
No, I don't care.
Rexar. Okay, thanks for the love and affection as always, Lothar. This means that there's a very easy curve here for Pinpingho.
Well, actually, Fire Plume into Tolver. I mean, Stone Shaper.
Yep.
It's not really looking bad, right? But Milestone Portal is also really nifty.
You can actually wait. You can still just Fire Plume into Tolver next turn. He couldn't Fire Plume into... You mean Fire Plume coin Tolver? So now he can play Fire Plume and go straight into Tolve next turn if he wants. Probably saving that coin for the Fire Elemental to get the pressure on board early.
He was able to play Fire Plume coin Tar Creeper, right? That's kind of like a stalemate known from MTG, when the creatures can't really kill themselves.
Yeah. They just don't really do much to each other. There's 2 Tolve Stone Shapers, but here's the... not much of a problem for Blackfire at the moment because he doesn't have any more elementals other than the Hot Spring, which doesn't require an elemental to work anyway. So, this is actually pretty reasonable.
It's a good minion. 4th mana, 3/5. It gets atoned and a Divine Shield, so it's strictly better Senjin. If you played an elemental less than.
The only problem is the next Tolve that is in BlackFireIce's hand is not good next turn unless he draws a Firefly.
Firefly, well, you can always just play the Hot Spring Guardian anyway. So
yeah, I mean, if he wants to play next turn.
Seems kind of okay. The boards are looking very similar to each other.
See, here's the problem with the
That's the
12.
problem, yeah.
Yeah, this is the exact reason we've seen Fireplume Phoenix in lists. Obviously, you cannot presume you're going to draw into your 5-drop, you know. Like, it's not that straightforward, but
this
having
is
it not available is a problem. Yeah, this
is actually sick. Wait.
just heals it up, right?
Yeah, he heals up the 12 here.
And does have the Servant of Kalimos ready to go and buffed next turn because the Hot Spring has been played.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, speaking of... Wow, both players suffering from the same issue. That's
They
kinda
actually
great.
drew the same cards.
Wait, they can... Oh, he can play them both. Oh, no, he can't because it's the turn before.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not the same turn. It has to be the turn before. You are correct.
No, elementals and you crazy stuff.
What can happen this turn is file elemental, kill the 12 year, or milestone portal. No, that makes no sense. So it have to be hero power, get the elemental power totem, excuse me, buff the spell damage, and then milestone portal. But that's pretty sad.
I wonder if you actually just Fire Ellie, kill the Tar Creeper.
It's not bad as well.
And then just pass.
And you just pass. Right.
And then, you know, and then see what's what next turn. Whatever happens, Pinpingho needs to play an elemental this turn.
Just depends which one. I mean, Fireplume is not bad as well, right?
It's just not a lot on the board, that's my worry. You're already behind on board. You have Maelstrom, potentially with a spell damage totem. Yeah, I do like this. This is like... oh, okay. Never mind. He's doing the trades and killing the Priestess.
Interesting, because now he... because of that action that he did just right now, he didn't plan to play Milestone Portal next turn for the... Jeez, what was her name? The Cleric?
Oh, for the Young Priestess.
The Young Priestess, thank you very much. The Young Priestess, just to kill her, like, by the Milestone Portal. So he would like to play Fireplume, most likely, and 7 next turn.
Allocate is an option here. Earth Elemental and Air Elemental. I imagine Air Elemental
will not get picked.
Will not get picked. Allocate seems just so valuable. Just burst damage from nowhere. Just either trading potential or with a Flame Tongue, just straight up 10 damage on turn 10, or with 10 mana.
Correct.
That's the weird thing about the trade to me is that it opened this attack up, killed off the minion, allowed the 12 to push some damage. Stone Sentinel. This card has actually not really been played a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone thought this card was going to be great. I thought it was good. But then you realize that the power just isn't quite there. You know, there's not enough power for what you do.
It's definitely not a Dr. Boom.
No. And also against like high aggro decks, well, turn 7's a long way away. You know, like you're normally expecting to die by then if it, against that kind of aggressive list. So not really a huge power card in my opinion, at least. But we'll see what Pinpingho does with it to try and make it work.
There's an option of just playing Fireplume and the 12-year Shapeshifter. Because of the fact that if you kill his 12-year, it's a 3/5, right? So
you're also Kalimos, but yeah.
But the opponent will not have a way of killing it easily. He would need to use something from hand to destroy the Divine Shield and then trade the minions. I really like this. And it... well, that's helpful. And it makes your Fire Elemental kind of immune to the attacks. But the Blaze Collar is actually pretty nuts. And let's think, what is the best use of it right now? Because I'm guessing
the
it will
Servant
get
into
played.
the shield, the Blaze Collar onto the 3/5, the 2/2 onto the Fire Elemental. You do take a lot of damage on the Servant, but there's no clean trades on the board for Pinpingho after that. So this is actually really nice. The power of Blaze Collar, Violence Portal, where you always get a 6/6.
Which is very important that it has 6 HP, because it doesn't die to your opponent's Blaze Collar.
Yeah, the Battle Cry,
Yeah.
Okay, so there's double Servant of Kalimot in Pinpingho's hand. Very, very valuable card. But when you're behind, you know, it's a bit of a problem. These are cards that snowball extremely heavily. I imagine he's going to have to go for it, though, now, and then try and get maybe a Kalimos himself. There he is.
Well...
Casual triple legendary.
Holy moly. So you have to think about all options here.
No, you don't. You just jam
like,
Kalimos every time.
I just wanted to create a perception of maybe there's a ward when you pick Alak here, because Baron Geddon is strictly worse than Kalimos in this case.
Yeah.
Because it deals 2 damage, not 3. I know it's consecutive turns.
But normally the one
But it deals damage to your own minions. You don't want that in this case, when you try to build a board.
Yeah, this is very, very back and forth here, because suddenly now Pinpingho's looking pretty reasonable. And these are the positions when you've already got the board where Stone Sentinel can come into play, I think. In the more like mid-range control matchups, right? You're already ahead, then one card becomes 3 minions. That's actually nuts in terms of value.
That is true. It soaks so much damage because the elementals are bigger creatures, like by nature, right? So they have a lot of attack, and the deck lacks point removal. There are no lightning bolts to get rid of, like, you know, Feral Spirits, or in this case, I don't remember the name of those 2/3 elementals that they're being created by Stone Sentinel, but I'm guessing they are Sentinels
Stone Spirits.
or something like that. So
a mixture between feral and elemental.
it's actually pretty important. Those minions can soak a lot of damage.
Yep. Obey my command. Allocator coming down now. And yeah, getting the small trades off here for BlackFire. He's going to clear off everything.
Pretty sweet, because now that Blaze Color is really hard to remove, since your opponent did play both Malice and Portals.
Wow.
So wise decision by BlackFireIce.
2 Stone Sentinels.
Seems like
I mean, you play them,
Halimos, right?
I was thinking Stone Sentinel. 1 taunt kills the 6th one.
No, because Alakir just kills both.
Yeah, and then the 4/4 just trades in. I don't know. I was thinking you do that and then you Kalimos into AoE.
What about fill your board with 1/1s?
You probably don't want the 6 attack trade, right? This is okay. Just gonna drop down the flame element. Not sure about that.
Oh, is it needed? I mean, okay, he has 3 elementals in his hand, so he'll have the synergy almost every single turn.
And he's gonna draw 1 from 7, of course.
Yeah. And, right, he is playing Flame Tongue Totems, so that will give him an option to trade up with the Flame Elemental in case he gets it next turn.
Oh my god, look at this. This turn's pretty good. Aya, just chilling. Just watching.
Yeah, she's not really that powerful.
Yeah. Jades.
Although, wait.
Jades was sold, like, 1 month ago. It's all about elementals now.
It's really interesting because if you want to play Hacks this turn, you can play Aya, because then the Tolver and the 7 Kalimos lose their ability for next turn, for 10-10. So that's kind of rough.
I think it's going to have to whip in a elemental or a Firefly. Yeah, you can whip in the Firefly this turn with the Hex now. So, you know, like you said, no Aya, but, you know, playing the cheaper minion means that you can... Oh no, what am I talking about? The Servant of Kalimos is an elemental. Yeah. Never mind, elementals are alive.
But I still feel like Firefly should have been played, because you have Flame Tongues as well in your deck, and it replaces itself.
Yeah. Wow, really interesting build here from Pinpingho. 2 Fire Plume Harbingers, 2 Stone Sentinels. This feels like it's almost I'm just playing every elemental in my deck. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the lists I've seen knocking around have actually cut a lot of elementals and really playing like the best 4 or something. You know, as opposed to saying I'm just going to play elementals.
Because then it feels like a curve deck. It's very non-reactive, right?
Yeah, it's linear.
The only reactive cards that you play are actually just Blaze Callers and Fire Elementals. And Alakir, maybe.
Pinpingho does have, you know, value for days at this point. The Servant of Kalimos potentially getting him another legendary elemental to get some work done. Stone Sentinel for BlackFire as well.
Alright, I really want to know what are the names of those. They look very impressive.
You look very impressive, Lothar.
Oh my god. I have a pink blazer on me. Man.
Exactly.
I wonder.
Okay, so nothing too crazy going on. They're going to be cleared up quite easily, the Sentinels. I'm going to call them now. Yep, and BlackFire can just follow up with his own Stone Sentinel if he really wants. Nothing else feels too great. It's the age-old problem, right? This Aya stuck in BlackFire's hand, because if he Ayas and then like Tolveers, well, he doesn't have an elemental proc, so then he's going to be behind again in terms of his effects next turn.
Yeah, exactly. The Tolver is not an elemental, so it's definitely a problem. Well, you can just Aya, Firefly, Hero Power, and play the Corsair as well. Is that bad? I think so.
I should go for the Stone Sentinel. Discovered, of course, by 7 of Kalimos, as you can see. A little bit wide onto the board here. Pinpingho drawing into his Hex.
Which is not really needed right now.
No, not quite. I imagine we're going to see 7 of Kalimos here. Let's see what he gets.
So, what if you just play Fire Plume first?
Well, you might want to Fire Plume the card you get, right?
Well, it's always 1 mana.
Stone Sentinel Wars.
Both players have actually Healing Totem out on the boards, which is super impactful in this situation. Because actually, it's a very impactful totem. You need to kill it, otherwise your opponent might grind you out.
Especially when there are so many elementals with like more health than attack, so they can start trading away, and like we can see the Servant of Kalamos on BlackFireIce's side, where it's just getting that extra bit of healing to allow him to continue to trade away pretty efficiently here.
It's kind of hilarious how many minions did we actually see in this game. Look, we have seen already 2 Stone Sentinels being played. That's 6 minions, and now a fourth one will get played. It's nuts. So many of them.
Yeah, these elemental shaman decks are really sort of grindy. Just like it's very difficult to tell who's ahead at times because they never seem to just end. They're just sort of like always chipping away with value trades and value clears, and
This is why we have seen Volcano.
Yeah, this is true. The Czech Republic team of Stansivka, Pokrovac, Czech Cloud, and Yara running Volcano in their list. And now we can see the power of Lightning Storm as well. He's going to get some pretty good work done.
So Hero Power first, Hex, Lightning Storm, and then Fire Plume to activate Stone Sentinel for next turn.
Seems good.
And he got a Healing Totem, which is not bad as well. If he manages to kill those 3 HP minions, that will be actually nuts. BlackFireIce knows what's gonna happen. Look at the outcome, let's see. Oh, painful. The bigger minions get just wrecked completely.
I'm surprised he didn't Hex first there, to be honest. Hex the Tolve.
Well, yeah, I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But in this case, I guess he wants to keep it for Kalamos. Or Aya.
Yeah, maybe Aya actually just trying to retain the value. As we can see now, the hands from both players are getting relatively low. We can see the Servant of Kalamos are kind of gone, I think, for both players now, so the Discover potential is out the window. And it really is all about getting maximum value from every single card you've got in hand.
And that Healing Totem. I think it's actually the Healing Totem was better than the Spell Damage Totem.
That feels so weird, though. He's just given Blackfire a positive trade with the Tolve by not hexing it.
I agree.
2 for 1,
I agree.
right? Like,
it's really weird that he didn't play the Hex, because I feel like you're so ahead on board, especially with your lower hand size. You will crush your opponent minions every single time when you have a Healing Totem out, and you can just dictate the tempo.
Also, as well, to be honest, there's just 13 power on board for Pinpingho.
That's a lot.
So, if there's no taunt, you just punch him in the face for 13. Plus whatever minion he's got, he can develop the next Stone Sentinel as well. So, really interesting play here. See how it works out for Pinpingho. He looks very happy, though. He must be on comms with his team, no doubt.
Just cracking some jokes.
At Poland's expense, no doubt. Being 2-0 up. This win for Pinpingho is just going to be a sweep for Taiwan, potentially. But BlackFireIce is by no means out of the game.
It didn't end yet.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. But Poland by no means out of the first match here. Avast!
Double Bloodseek Corsair, by the way. Well,
Needed for you, but it patches, right?
2 Overload is now kind of awkward. Because you're not... Look at that. If you would actually play the Hex last turn, you would have been able to still develop, kill a minion basically, and develop the Hex. And develop a minion right now as well. So now the Hex is kind of pointless.
He has to kill Aya as well. Aya's high attack means that he's going to trade away to almost everything, especially that Fire Elemental that's just played. And this 3 attack minion is a little bit more easy to deal with. Healing Totem, as you quite rightly said, getting some work done. That Healing Totem's MVP.
The minions would have been already dead.
Ooh, Jade Lightning, though, is going to be nice at clearing up the Fire Elemental along with the 1-1 Jade. And that Jade's going to be a 4-4.
Oh, look at that.
You just rock the spell damage to him.
You didn't lose a minion. That's actually also very important.
Yeah, that Jade being a 4-4, suddenly that 4-4 alone is going to start piling through these Stone Sentinels. The minions they're going to buff. Sorry.
Because we don't know the names of those.
These Stone
Guardians?
dudes.
I don't know. Someone tweet at me and tell me what are those names of those.
Okay, so now Pinpingho's kind of lost the board now. And Spike kind of, I mean, just has. And Stone Sentinel probably isn't enough at this point. Already the 2/3s die that it summons, unless he pops it out with a Hex.
Well, he needs to hex it. There's no
wait,
way.
he needs-
Unless
well, let's see what
he will
draws.
draw
Let's
a
see what
Kalimos, right?
Shows little time.
Otherwise, it's looking pretty grim. That hex has actually bears really huge consequences. He lost additional minion because of not playing the hex, and he lost additional minion now because he didn't play the hex. So those are 2 minions.
He can freeze it.
Oh man, that is actually insane. He can freeze, or he
Freeze
can
the 3/3.
he can hex the 4/4, freeze the 3/3, and play the Sentinel.
I think you have to. What are you waiting for? Like, you know
Well,
what I mean, like the.
Kalimos, that's the only thing, right?
But
if
you do
your
this,
opponent plays
is sick next
Kalimos,
turn, right? He needs to play an elemental this turn if he's expecting Kalimos, because that Kalimos won't be live unless he plays something, right?
so he didn't play and he didn't play an elemental.
Last turn he did, but he needs to play one this turn. Is what I mean is he has to do something, and if he does something, he may as well do it all.
Right, the problem I see is that if he uses Glacier Shard this turn,
He's got nothing for next turn.
yes.
It's fine. Just draw Kalimos next turn. Problem solved.
But if you don't draw Kalimos next turn or any other synergy, then you are getting wrecked because other minions that you will get, other elementals, will not bear any value at all. So I think it's important to actually keep the Glacier Shard.
Okay, let's see. See if Pinpingho agrees. That's no doubt being discussed right now on comms for Taiwan.
Alright, no, go for it. This is too much value. The 3/3 getting frozen is actually
you win the
important.
board.
You win the board by a huge margin. Let's go. Oh, you didn't go for it.
Oh, he did hover like he was going to as well.
Yeah.
Oh, flame tongue.
Alright. Well, it was a tough decision. I'm not
It
sure
was.
which one is
wasn't
better,
straightforward.
but like judging by the way the board looks, it felt like it was more important to play Glacier Shard. But it might be the case that he will get to draw Kalimos in 2 turns, in 2 draws, and then it will be actually important to play the Glacier Shard next turn.
Yep. All right, BlackFireIce is back on the value train here. Flame Tongue doing its job, and now it's all back on Pinpingho. Kalimos into AOE.
It's
Would be
GG.
pretty good. Here we go. Fire
Fire
Plume. Okay, clears off the minion on the left. He can freeze the totem on the right. I feel like that's the start to a weird dance move.
Oh,
He's already played Nelly, right?
Well, we don't know his list, right? So he might actually keep the Glacier Shard because of the fact that he just knows
he might be
better
just
than
running
this,
low on
right?
elementals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he only had. Maybe that's the last elemental,
The last element.
apart from Kalimos, of course.
Like an epic story.
It's like the last Kaleidosaur.
Or Airbender.
Well, it's an elemental bender, right?
Okay, J-Claws being on the draw for BlackFireIce means he can help clear up.
It's a 5/5. That's actually pretty
Oh
good.
yeah, it's a 5. I forgot it was a 5/5. He's got another J-Claws in the deck still, right?
Yeah.
I think he's only played 1?
No. He played 2 Jade Claws.
Oh, did he?
This is the second. Because the first one cleared actually a 1/1 that couldn't trade with another elemental that had actually 1 HP. It was crucial to trade with that. Well, he can freeze the 5/5, and that's about it.
Cry.
He can play both of those, still have an Fire Alley in his hand.
Yep. I think he needs to. He just needs to do something here. Pinpingho's going to start off with a hero power. Taunt? Not bad.
Not bad, not bad. Does he run 2 Lightning Storms? Because this is what can help him.
Normally it's like 2 Maelstrom, 1 Lightning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is the general AoE build for a Shaman.
So the Flame Elemental needs to be kept for 1 turn. At least for 1 turn. He needs the synergy if he doesn't draw the Elemental in the next turn. Ooh, Fire Elemental. Fire and Flame Elemental. One is a 1 mana 1/2, the other one is 6 mana 6/5. A huge disproportion between them, I would say.
Big brother.
Big? I would say like, holy crap, bigger.
Yeah, just goes to the gym. It's you and me, Lothar. I'm the Flame Elemental, you're the Fire Elemental. Oh well. I know my place.
All right, Kalimos still doesn't do anything here. It clears 3 minions, but that's about it. Oh
Spring
my
Guardian.
God.
Not what he's after. Pinpingho cannot believe it. He's just all he needs in life is Kalimos.
And you know what? It's all because of the hex.
Maybe.
That's my opinion, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Okay. You have a right to do that, Lothar. Yeah, I mean, the Hex would have maybe gained him a much more stronger position onto the board, which then means BlackFireIce has a harder job battling back onto that board, indeed. The Hot Spring Guardian, I guess, is just going to be stuck around. Interesting he played the Fire Alien, not the Hot Spring. Not the Fire Alien, the
Well,
flame.
he is sticking to the plan that he needs to keep one elemental in his hand. And
Yeah, it's just would you not drop put up the taunt, I guess. Unless he wants to Kalimos and taunt. That's probably more reasonable, right?
Kalimos is for 8 mana, right?
Oh, yeah, Kalimos 7/7
So he
for 8,
can't
yeah.
play Kalimos and Guardian the same turn.
I wonder.
I wonder.
Hmm.
Correct.
Interesting conundrum. Only milestone, right? Kills everything, and you just go for 15 damage to the face. I want to keep it,
Well,
but I want to keep it in this situation.
I mean, he's super ahead, right? He has 2-turn
Yeah,
lethal.
that's
I think
true,
it's
that's
fine keeping hold of it for an emergency. Break this portal.
What if your opponent will just rip off a Flaming Totem from the top?
You probably just don't care. You just kill him anyway. You have to do a lot of work here to be able to turn this round. It looks like BlackFireIce is on the verge of bringing Poland into this game, basically.
Although it was super close, and it's still close actually, because now the Hex on the Fire Elemental and the Guardian actually gives him some time.
Not a lot of time, though. I think the Kalimos needs to knock on the door next turn.
And it still really doesn't really have that much.
Clears off the tomes.
How many cards does he have left? It's around 12, I would say. Wait, does this deck even have a draw?
I don't think so. You have like Servant of Kalimos, right?
Yeah.
So like it's a kind of card draw.
Well, and you have... Well, Kalimos itself is like a card draw, basically. Because it bears an effect, right?
Oh, well, not what you really wanted. Your opponent drawing Kalimos instead of you.
Yeah, well, that's lethal, right? You sacrifice 1 minion, then you play Kalimos, 6 damage to the face.
It's exact, right? Oh, it's no, it's small. It's small.
Poland takes it! First game.
I'll let you have that one.
BlackFireIce on the back of Kalimos Legendary. Kind of fitting for the theme of the deck. Kalimos with the final touch to touch the beast.
Yep, so, you know, Pinpingho did lose his game to Taiwan, but Taiwan is still 2-1 up versus Poland. But BlackFireIce keeping his teammates in the running and obviously keeping his country in the running for the first win in the first week of Hearthstone Global Games. And as we said, that is going to be 2-1, so there is 1 player from each team left to play. And then it's going to go into the ace match if Taiwan don't win. So Poland need to win the next 2 games to be able to win their match, whereas Taiwan only need to win 1. And one of those could be an ace match.
True, and it's a Tuttek versus... Who's the
I think it's Tom.
Tom.
Yeah.
Yes, we didn't see Tom actually.
We've seen
Wait.
Tom started on Freeze Mage.
Oh, it's Roger.
Yeah, Tom's the ace match. Oh, so,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you meant the ace match. Sorry, the ace match it will be IKealyou versus Tom if it goes that far. But yes, it's Tuttek versus Roger. So
Right.
it's going to be great.
Didn't see the classes though.
No, they're tricking us. Don't tell us which classes. We'll just find out as we go in. But really looking forward to it. We've had some cool matchups already. I feel like the teams haven't been able to discuss the turns is actually like making every single turn that was relatively straightforward, relatively long as well. Roger rocking the Rogue and Tuttek on the Warlock. So again, Roger, I would pin Roger as another miracle player. I'm 1 for 1 so far, but I'd pin Roger as a miracle player. I may be wrong, of course, but that's what I'm going with.
Oh, I would like to see the Miracle Rogue because it's such a pleasure to watch, especially with the new version, right? So with the Rezo Petals, gives you more spells for the Agadston, and with the Sharazin, it's actually super fun to play around. Like, you need to plan how do you want to revive this minion. It's actually a lot of value.
Yeah, and even attack ordering and stuff like that. You can actually revive it on the same turn you attack with it, if you want to make trades and such. But see the players just getting ready there. And both players just looking pretty cool, sorting out their comms. Do you think Tuttek's going to be bringing Zoo? As I do feel that this control lock we've been seeing from Sifka, I think JJ played it as well.
But it's not really
like,
popular.
It's very like niche in a certain extent. You know, there's a few select people who would like to play that deck. Live Coach being one of them, for example, no doubt. But in general, I feel that Zoo, one, is just built in a more straightforward manner.
Yeah.
And two, just probably less tricky to play in more
I would
matchups,
definitely
right?
say so. I mean, if you play against an aggro deck, I feel like it's pretty simple straightforward to play that Warlock,
Remove
right?
stuff, don't die.
Yeah. Play Minion Trade, play Mortal Coil, Siphon Soul, Hellfire, play Jaraxxus, win, right? But or you just play Bloodbloom, Doom with Medivh, right, and get a 10-drop.
And have 8 mana left to spare.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. Unless you play it all in one turn, of course, then sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, going to be great to see what classes, what decks these guys have brought with the classes here. And again, this is, Poland has to win. All the pressure is on Tuttek to win. What do you know about this guy? Do you think he's got what it takes?
Well, he's pretty competitive. He was playing in preliminaries since 2014, if I remember correctly. Ooh. Warlock. So
Megasaur!
okay, so far in the metagame, I only tried a Murloc Paladin, like an aggressive version with the Gentle Megasaurs. So I don't really know how Warlock will play, but it was an archetype since the beginning of time in Hearthstone. Because with the old Blood Imps, Murlocs were nuts.
And also the hero power, right?
Yeah.
You just being able to draw more and play almost every single card you drew. So yeah, guys, you know what? Again, never thought I'd say this, but we're going to be seeing in a very competitive game for Poland's life in this match, Murloc Warlock.
Look at Roger. Like,
Roger's
what the hell happened?
And Roger is playing the Miracle Rogue.
But fortunately for Roger, he has a coin agent to just dismantle the drop.
And then backstab fan as well.
And backstab fan is sick. You have pressure. Your opponent can't rebuild, because the problem with Murlocs is that if you lose board control, it's super tough to get it back.
Yeah.
It's super tough to get back. This is why you have cards like this Stinger, right, which allows you to play a Murloc and pay with the health instead of the cost. So you have an easy way to get back on the board. Play cards with buffs, like Water Leader, like the. Ooh, wait, what? Ooh?
It's just okay, it's just chilling.
Well, that's definitely interesting.
Yeah, so Roger's just okay taking damage, basically. Because anyone who opens turn 1 with that Murloc, it's going to do more than 1 damage, because you're probably playing a Murloc turn 2, right? You don't really drop that bad boy. It's doing even more as the Rockpool Hunter actually gives it +1/+1 as well. So that's a 3/3 and a 2/3 on the board already, and suddenly a little bit more difficult to deal with.
Well, Roger is able to backstab, play agent, and deal 1 damage. He is also able to play patches with the backstab, kill 1. But I'm really surprised he didn't take the chance to just kill the first drop out of Murlocs.
Especially because you look at the hand, right? So there would have been a 3/3 on the board on its own, and then it just kills the rock. Well, the Rockpool probably wouldn't have been played, and then it requires like 2 blue gills to kill. Like, what does Tuttek even play into that?
Soulfire is pretty neat. Although I wouldn't mind even a simple backstab on turn 1 without the agent. If you really want to keep the coin for.
Well, that's what kind of why. Because that's fine. But I kind of liked backstab SI as like an option as well, or backstab Fan of Knives, suddenly doing 3 damage to something, which kills pretty much any Murloc. But Roger has done a pretty good job of clearing up this board so far, and now it's all on Tuttek to be able to regain this.
Oh, well, that's sick. You can actually play Finja on turn 3. If something can bring Poland back into the game, this is it. This is it. This is the turn when you just need to pay 5 health for a Finja. And that is just insane. Look at Rogers. Look.
He's tilted. He's like, this is not allowed. Finja has 5 mana.
Oh, man, this is sick. This is like the best thing that can happen. We talked about how Murlocs lose. And they lose if they lose the board control. And they actually lost the board control because of patches, the additional damage, the backstab, the agent. That was actually 5 damage for 3 mana with the coin, which is insane. So now, this is if he gets war leaders out of it, it might be over.
I just don't understand what's going on, to be honest, Lothar. I'm watching Murloc Warlock, and it's crazy to me. With the Blue Girls, it means that Tuttek can guarantee a trade onto this SI7 agent.
But I mean, he doesn't know. Roger doesn't know that there's a guaranteed trade.
No, of course, but
But he can't
Roger
play Swashbuckler.
Soul fires his own 3-3. No, Finja, not this time.
Councilman, no, you can't play that. You need to play the warrior, go into the agent, kill the agent, and hopefully you will get a war leader, so it buffs the Finja back to full health. I mean, sorry, not full health, but at least will be alive.
Not dead.
Yeah.
Here we go. It'll be interesting to see what other Murlocs are available for Tuttek as well.
It's not a war leader.
Okay, though. It's sort of replaced his board, right?
Yeah, the Cold Light Seer, although you would rather play that from your hand, so it's kind of awkward. I feel like you need to tap this turn.
Well, this is something I was actually talking to Sottle with yesterday, bringing up the point of, do you actually play Finja in a full Murloc deck? Because there are so many Murlocs that have battle cries, live effects, and
You
stuff.
need to.
But do you?
Yeah,
There's so many Murlocs that have battle cries that you just miss. That's
But
the problem.
that doesn't matter. It's like with the Fel Reaver. If you burn cards that you were never meant to draw, it's not important.
And draw my lifetime.
But you are not going to fatigue, most likely.
Sure.
So I feel like Finja is just too powerful not to play, even when the Murlocs that you're gonna get are not the best one.
Yeah.
It's just
Better
free
than
stuff.
nothing, right?
It's just free stuff.
So Roger actually playing Zarel in this version of the list as well. So not like the standard version of the list we've seen. I say standard very loosely as versions are changing, probably as I even talk about them. But you know, still Zarel is going to help out. As always, going to be nice in a Miracle style deck because of the 1- spells it generates.
By the way, I just got a tweet. The smaller Sentinels are being named Rock Elemental.
Rock Elemental. Okay, good to know.
So now we're waiting for Metal Elemental. What did he get? King's Blood. That's draw card.
Yeah, it's reasonable enough.
Hallucination might be a sick card as well because it can get a Shadow Flame, a Hellfire, Demon Wrath. Helpful. Definitely helpful.
Yeah, considering that many demons in this deck. Okay, raise a Panel Lasher. That'd be nice. Just as a dude on the board as well. I imagine we're going to see Hallucination though because of the cards you listed, Lothar, you know, the high impact Warlock cards.
Can be Twisting Nether as well.
Does have 1 Soulfire as an emergency switch as well. Not that you want to discard too many cards.
Oh.
Twisting? Is that Cho'Gall?
And Cho'Gall. Oh, no, we don't want to play Cho'Gall.
Drain Life or Twisting. I'd probably go Twisting.
Twisting Nether is nuts.
You can survive for 2 turns. You're not under tons of pressure at this point.
Yeah. I feel like you need to Soulfire this turn as well.
No.
That Councilman might be too much damage. Oh my god.
Oh, okay, you can now because you have 2 AoE effects. I'd be worried about getting Twisting and Soul Firing it away. But with Shadow Flame as your second Warlock card, I'm like, okay. Combine that with Cold Blood, win the game. So Roger is on 21 health now. Tuttek has not a lot of burst available, 7 from hand with Direwolf and Leroy next turn. 2 available on board as well, so he's actually a long way away, and as you said, once Murloc loses the board once, Tuttek kind of got it back the second time. Maybe it's not going to happen the third, though.
And he didn't get... there's no chance of getting a second Stinger.
Yep.
Because he already got it from Finja. Which is funny. It's like Stinger made Finja possible, but Finja made second Stinger impossible. Because it already was played.
The circle of life.
By the way, we have Murlocs in the studio as well, so it kind of fits.
Maybe this is why Tuttek played. Is he in the studio? He is Polish. He could be here.
We actually have this Murloc like looking through the window here.
Yeah,
Maybe
type
camera
color.
will show it later. What do? It doesn't look great. You can't play around Shadow Flame.
This sick 2 damage Shadow Flame. Wow,
Look at Roger. Roger's going nuts.
Oh
Oh my
Blood Mage
god,
it.
this is even better. What Roger is just going fully nuts. I would love to hear his comms right now. He's
We
shouting.
wouldn't
And
understand what he's saying, probably.
it doesn't
but
matter. The intonation is, you know, important.
Yeah, he can even, Shadow Flame sneak down those. Gets the trade. Tuttek visibly disappointed. Shadow Flame is not something a rogue should be allowed to do. Blade Flurry was removed for a reason, guys.
Look at that gentle Megazord.
That could have just won the game.
That could have been just straight out
Murlocs
win.
survived, yeah.
Yes. Because imagine all those Murlocs are getting +3 attack or Wind Fury.
Yeah.
Man, that is just brutal with the backstab. Oh
Here
my
comes the miracle
god.
turn.
That is GG. Trade with the Megazord. Prep whatever you want.
Prep twisting go.
I mean, you just need card draw.
Oh, an Arcane Giant is playable for 2
that-
mana. Seems good.
That just game.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Tuttek. Roger did something that Rogue is normally very bad at in terms of clearing up a wide board. The Shadow Flame, gigantic help. Even the insurance policy of the Twisting Nether for the turn after anyway, but absolutely gigantic miracle turn. Arcane Giant is probably going to seal the deal because Roger simply isn't at low enough health.
Well, you just could pick Drain Life to tilt even more.
Alright, doesn't matter. Doesn't need to tilt when he's won. Mimic Pod, why not?
Oh my god. Double. No, wait, it's Copy's next card. So it's double Sharazin, okay.
Oh, we didn't get to see shares in. Yeah, I imagine this is going to be a pretty hard concede from Tuttek. Probably going to see what he's going to draw first, just in case. But Roger is so far away in terms of damage. Roger's 21 health. Tuttek is not even close.
Yeah.
If he was around 10, then suddenly we can talk. As we can see, Leroy, Soulfire, 10 damage. That's a lot of reach. 21 with nothing on board. It is a big ask indeed.
And now he loses the Leroy as well. So the reach was lost, but he needs to do it, otherwise he's just dead. Murloc Tidehunter, well, it's not a taunt.
Yeah, beefy though. Oh.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, it was pretty much a done deal anyway. Tuttek couldn't keep up with this kind of damage Roger could put out without the Cold Blood, but with the Cold Blood, that is going to be game. And Taiwan takes the win 3-1 over Poland. So they're looking top of their group so far. And I'm sorry, Lothar. Sorry, there's plenty more games coming up.
It's a fair game. Warlock had Rogel. I actually said it in Polish. Rogue had actually a Shadow Flame. Fair game.
Exactly. Completely fair. Nothing else goes wrong there. But yeah, it's going to be a good win there for Roger and a good win for Taiwan, getting one on the board, looking fantastic. So yeah, it's a great series and a bit of a quicker one as well. It wasn't too long.
Although we didn't have like all aggressive decks, but it feels like the decks were pretty much solved after like few turns of just massive AoE effects.
Yeah, and I hope this as well is a bit of a help out for the viewers because you may not have heard of many players from Taiwan, for example. Again, don't attend too many tournaments that are the usuals, so to speak. But you can see these guys do not mess around. Roger, Tom, the other guys as well, Malygos, absolutely fantastic there. And that's going to be 3-1. We see BlackFireIce held on just about for his team, but it wasn't enough in the end as Roger took it. Pinpingho with the one loss, but these guys and all the teams are a team, right? One loss doesn't cause a huge issue there. But Tom, Malygos, and Roger putting the points on the board. Taiwan looking fantastic. I think we can check out the group standing soon as well, just to check out how the group looks.
Who will be first?
Not Poland.
Oh my.
Woof. Look, UK played tomorrow, okay?
We are actually in
tomorrow.
Poland, in Katowice. Poland lost.
I'm about to get thrown out after all these comments.
Yeah, exactly.
We can check it out there. Taiwan, of course, at the top of the group with the only one of the teams only played with a 3-1 game score. Poland rocking it at the bottom. But as you said, after the first match from everyone, the group will be split in 2, winners and losers. And Lothar will be on the losers.
You're asking for it, man. You're just asking for it.
So if you've seen the HGG trailer, you'll see that Lothar actually beats me up in it, and this is payback, and he can't hit me on camera again. So it's
that was recorded, so I can just play it on screen.
Thanks, mate. I did win the arm wrestle. That has been officially confirmed. Obviously, it wasn't really in doubt, but we have a couple more matches coming up for you today, so don't go anywhere. This is Hearthstone Global Games. We'll be back soon.